So I found a video of John Mayer talking about a bend he hates, and I actually happen to really like this bend. So today we are going to investigate this particular bend and understand how we can use it in a musical way, and also we are going to look at Mayer's philosophy regarding playing notes for the sake of them being directly under your fingers. So let's get to it. Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Alex. I'm a guitarist based here in the UK, and on this channel we talk about guitar technique, guitar chops, and musicians' mindset. Today we are talking about the bend John Mayer hates. However, I don't really care about the bend he hates. I happen to really like that bend. I care about the message behind the bend that Mayer hates. He has a brilliant message to share, and I actually think it's the single most important lesson that John Mayer has released. And I actually think it's one of the single most important messages for any guitarist to hear. So let's look at his video and let's dive into the theory behind what he is saying so we can understand what not to do and what to do. Okay, let's go. So here's a snippet from John Mayer's Instagram Live a few years ago. There are so many golden nuggets within this video, and we are going to dive into why this philosophy for the guitar is so important. So here's the video.
So that's interesting. I want to play the one bend I don't like the most, and so here's the shit that I want to talk to you about.
Okay, so first off, if you don't get that excited about talking about guitar, there's something wrong.
So the only reason that certain things happen on a guitar musically is because they're there shape-wise. And I've gone through my playing and I've gone through the music I listen to, and it's not a bad thing, it's a preference, but the guitar the science of it has sort of led it into a certain sound in terms of what people play on it. Not always because it's what they want to say, but it's because it's the shape that's available to them on the guitar.
Not always because it's what they want to say, but it's because it's the shape. Yes, completely agree. There are lots of things guitarists do just because they're under their fingers, like Eric Johnson pentatonic runs or Stevie Ray Vaughan isms. These are things that you can only really get away with on the guitar. So I do agree with this.
Even in my own playing, and I did it only one time. You
one time, you did it one time.
Right. Did it one time. And I'll do it every once in a while. If you're in A, right, A, it's da-da-da, and it happens in music, but on a guitar, I just don't like it. And I also don't like people who hit it too hard.
Okay, so I actually think what he is saying is, I actually kind of get what he's saying. That particular bend, it sounds, it's quite a cheesy sound. However, in the right situations, I think it works really nicely. Like this particular bend makes moving from the 4 chord to the 1 chord sound very strong. Okay, so sometimes we play melodies to make our chord progression sound strong, but the premise of what John Mayer is saying, where you should play what you hear rather than what the guitar wants you to play just because it's there on the guitar, is bang on the money, and that is what we are going to look at. Okay, so I've got my teacher's hat on and I've got my whiteboard, so that means we are going to look at the theory behind what John is saying. So what I've got written here is the minor pentatonic scale. And that is probably the most common scale to use on the guitar. So the problem that John Mayer is talking about is when we play the major pentatonic over the top of that, which looks like this. So I've drawn in the blue the major pentatonic, okay, and as we can see, some of the notes directly overlap the minor pentatonic. So we've got the minor pentatonic, and we've got the major pentatonic. And especially in the blues, it is extremely common to interchange between those scales seamlessly. Okay, they do it all the time. You know, licks like this, lines like this all the time. Stevie Ray, B.B. King, you know, loads of players, John Mayer. And the note John Mayer is specifically talking about is this note here, which is the sixth going up to the flat seventh. And if you're unfamiliar with the number system, please check out the video above. What John Mayer doesn't like is when people bend up from the sixth to that flat seven. And I kind of get what he means. It's kind of a very weak sounding, bend. You kind of just play it because it's there. However, I did find two musical examples that use this bend brilliantly. The first one is the outro of Rosanna by Toto. And the second one is the first solo in Walk This Way by Aerosmith. Just give me a kiss. Like this. Okay, and as we can see, both of those sounds are brilliant. So I think John Mayer would even agree that that is the bend used in a musical way. I am 100% certain that these players play with their ear, not play with just what the guitar wants them to play. This concept is very similar to the Clapton video I made a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, let's continue looking at this. So, this example is not the only bad thing guitarists do, in my opinion. This note here is the major third, okay? If we're in the key of A. And one of my pet hates, and this is very similar to what John Mayer is saying, is when people mess around with this major third too much. I hate it when people land on that major third. It's just not... It just doesn't sound nice. It doesn't sound thought out. That's the whole point of this. These moves just don't sound thought out. They sound like you are just playing these two scales, okay, to make the bluesy sound. Okay, none of those notes are wrong, but it just sounds like I am just, you know, looking at these notes and thinking, well, I could land on that. That might sound cool. I could land on that. I could land on that, which is fine. That's brilliant in the practice room. Explore in the practice room. But when you're playing, try and sieve out the things you are playing just because they're there and try and think about what you want to say on the guitar. Okay? B.B. King is the best example for this. B.B. King always plays what he wants to say. You know, I've heard some solos where BB King literally plays 3 notes for like a minute. Okay, and it sounds absolutely brilliant. It's because he's never thinking about what the guitar can do. He's thinking about what note would suit this musical situation, and that is the point of it. Okay, so a lot of food for thought. Today was really highlighting why you should play what you want to say, not play what the guitar is allowing you to do. Of course, guitarisms are amazing on the guitar and we all love them as guitarists. We wouldn't be playing guitar if we didn't like them. However, the main bulk of our playing should be coming from what do we want to say rather than just saying things for the sake of it. We never want to say things for the sake of it. So as always, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment if you have any thoughts, and I will be back next week to help you transform your playing. Thanks. Please check out this video right here for more lessons. Thanks.